The reason your content feels so heavy is not because you're bad at batching, you're lazy, unorganized, or unfocused. It's because your business is leaking energy in ways you can't even see. That heaviness that you feel every time you sit down to post, that's not a flaw in you, my beautiful friend. That's feedback. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to lighten the load. So grab your cup of coffee, your tea, whatever's keeping you grounded, and let's dive into today's episode. Welcome to Heart Led CEO, the podcast for women wellness entrepreneurs who are ready to build, scale, and automate their businesses without sacrificing their soul, sanity, or authenticity. I'm Anna Connie Walters, a nurse turned entrepreneur, military spouse, first time mama in my 40s, and a recovering burnout survivor who's making it a mission to help heart-led women just like you create thriving businesses that really feel good, do good, and give you the freedom that we all deserve. Because here's the thing, you don't have to hustle harder to succeed. You don't have to drown in tech overwhelm or try to do everything alone. And I'm here to give you the strategies, automation tools, and mindset shifts that will help you step fully into that leader, CEO, and impact maker that you are meant to be. If you're ready to grow your business in a way that aligns with your values and your life, you are in the right place. Let's get into today's episode. Hello, my beautiful friend. I hope wherever you are listening to this, you are well. And I'm so excited to be here because this month has really been a big focus about adrenal fatigue, adrenal health, burnout, and all the things that people just don't talk about or just are not aware. And the truth is that I used to think that I had a consistency problem when it came to my marketing and my business. I was continuously blaming myself for not being disciplined enough or not being good at batching because although I want to be so good at batching, I just struggle with it and I'm still continuing to try to be better at it and I'm fine tweaking, but it's taking a long time. And it wasn't because I wasn't hustling hard enough, but it was what I was feeling internally. And what I eventually realized, and what I see in so many of my clients, is that consistency has nothing to necessarily do with discipline. It's about safety. And I was like, what? That doesn't even make sense. But your nervous system has to feel safe before it will ever let you show up consistently. If you suffer from staring at that blank screen and having writer's block or creative block for me, which sometimes comes up where I'll be on my game one day and then all of a sudden when I really need to, I'm on a deadline, I've had life happen and I need to get stuff done. It's like everything turns against me. It feels, and I just I cannot stay focused. I'm struggling to get my words out, to come up with ideas. Nothing sounds good. I'm just like, I don't know. Now, thank goodness for AI because it does help with some of that. It gives you that boost to like, okay, well, just think, just like brainstorm, and then something might just come up when you're having the conversations with your AI employees. But when your business is leaking energy, it's like you're trying to fill a cracked bucket. Now, my son, who's 3, he has these toys where they're literally buckets, but on the bottom of the bucket, it has little different shaped holes so that he can see the difference in the water and how it drains. Some will drain super fast, some will drain super slow. Some of them will, the way the water looks, it's supposed to be, I think, a sensory thing. But either way, guess what? He gets frustrated because he continues to fill it up, fill it up, fill it up. And then he gets like, I don't want to play this no more because none of these buckets are holding the water. And so no matter how much effort you pour in, it's never going to feel enough. You are never going to feel energized enough, creative enough. It is just not going to feel good. And then you're just going to get frustrated and you're just going to be like, F this. This is not worth it. Now, there are 3 invisible leaks that I see the most. So make sure that you stay tuned for all 3. Now, the first one, and it is more profound now with AI than ever before. The first one is content paralysis. Because if you've suffered from being multi-passionate, having neurodivergency, having 100 ideas swirling, but when you go to post, you basically freeze because now you have so much content overload in your mind, so many ideas, you have trouble figuring out which one to go with, what to put in, and you default to basically nothing. And now with AI, especially in my alchemized content method, I was noticing a pattern with my students being like rock stars at using my custom GPTs to create 7 weeks worth of content in 3 minutes, but then not actually following through and putting the content out there. Why? Because it was just content overload. And what I was having to then do in our live trainings is now is not the time. ChatGPT specifically, sole job is to make you happy. And it will continue to give you like, here's your stuff. Now, would you like a PDF or a presentation, or would you like another like 3 more weeks of content? Now, most people's like, yes, heck yeah, free stuff. But it's no, no, no. We need to be intentional now when we're using AI because it is intended to give us this slew of things. And if you are not careful, you are going to end up in that same content paralysis where you're now going to have so much amazing information and content that you're like, I don't know what to post now. It's like the sword with two blades. So you really need to be intentional. And I'm super, super proud of myself because I was running into the same thing, not as bad as my students, but I was noticing some similar patterns. And so what did I do? I created a Canva template to go along with what custom GPTs that I've built are giving out so that it is literally a plug and play. And so you pick your day. We do a lot of energy cycling. So whether it's through the moon or your menstrual cycle, you notice what part of the month or in your cycle you should be doing that creative work because it is where your hormones will help your body and your mind be at the optimal for certain activities, and you hone in into that space and you spend that day or those few days where you're in those blocks to do brand the custom Canva templates that I've given you to your brand, your tone, your pictures, your fonts, everything so that it looks like something that should fit with you. And then on the cycle part of your energy cycle where you are more like driven for statistics and information, that would be the day that you would then use that information and bring it over. And you would try to do this for the month in front of you and just do what you can for the month that you're in. And then that way it is like magic, you guys. I'm actually batch creating and I'm super proud of myself and I'm so excited for my students. Now, the second, number two, invisible leak is repurposing roadblocks. And it is one of the things that I built the Alchemized Content Method, which is my signature course from. You create one big, beautiful webinar, podcast, blog, training, YouTube video, live video, whether it's live on your Instagram or your YouTube, or not a YouTube, it'd be a YouTube video, but like a Facebook Live, if you go live into your community groups. And then what happens? It just dies there. We don't really take the time to send it out. We hope that the universe is going to help us or the algorithm is going to catch on to one of our SEOs or the metadata is going to help with our hashtags or whatever. And we leave it there. We might promote it when it's fresh, when it's like that first week, and then we never go back to it. Now, the method that I teach you is that we are constantly sending people back to it. We are no longer feeling this hamster wheel of reinventing. What should I post about today? I'm like, oh my gosh, like I feel like I've talked about everything in my business and I don't know what else I can create that's new. No, 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 no. Instead, we multiply what we've already created. If you do it the way most people do, instead of multiplying your content so that it is continuously feeding off of that one beautiful main like creation that you've already spent so much time on, and then it just sits lonely in that corner of the web or social, we create a system where you are constantly cycling through it. And it's beautiful. It's like this beautiful ecosystem. And like you don't have to have that much content. So it's specifically awesome for people who are new to the business to focus on creating like this initial power content that then they can just constantly pull from while they're trying to catch up and really start to answer questions or so create content to solve solutions for their clients in a current situation. Because sometimes it does take time for us to learn what exactly do our clients need? What do they actually need help with? What are they actually willing to pay that I can give them a solution to? Sometimes that part takes time. And so when you have this cyclic system of content that you know it's like the basis of what all people in your niche are going to be looking for, whether you're a birth worker or a yoga instructor, a yoga therapist, a fitness instructor, a water sports instructor, you already know like the basic things, the most common questions that you get asked, especially if you're already like teaching an in-service based business thing. And then the third one is clarity chaos. When you are not 100% sure who your message is for or what you're building towards, then every single post feels like you're just shouting into this big void on the web. Like you're just like out there, like shouting into this empty space. You're not getting likes, you're not getting views. You have a high skip rate. No one's messaging you. You're not connecting with anybody and you're not getting new followers. And I had that problem when I was literally taking all of my beautiful business ideas and putting it into one. I had Fat Mermaids, PHAT, which is my stand up paddleboard business, the first business that I started. And I was sticking everything: military life, gardening, young living essential oils, holistic lifestyle changes, cooking, pre and postnatal, pregnancy. And it was like, no, but I was like crickets. Like nobody was reaching out. I was confused myself as to what to post eventually because I was like, I don't know what to post. Like, what did I just recently post? This is supposed to be about stand-up paddleboarding, and it just kind of became this huge cluster. But when I separated and I created an umbrella brand, and underneath that umbrella brand, I had a separate brand for each of my focus points: pre and postnatal and women's health, my stand up paddleboarding and mindset, and now my burnout and business coaching for content creation, AI and automation strategy. It's like very specific. Now, when I look at my Instagram, like I'm only getting reached out to by either people who are in my industry and I don't ever see them as competitors. They're like what my coach has taught me to call them as my power partners, or they're actual like students or people that I've met through challenges that I've been like an ambassador for, or my own students who continuously, get inspiration or whatever, or new people that are looking and they're just kind of on that waiting list and waiting for that right content to hit them to give them that courage to say that final yes. So if any of this sounds familiar, I would love to hear it. Whether you comment on this podcast episode or you reach out to me privately on social, or if you're in our Facebook group, saying I listened to this episode and this is the leak that I'm stuck with. And so I want to give you a quick one, and I call it the content energy reset because it only really takes 1 minute. It's not that long. And I want you to just, if you can, if you're driving, don't do this, but put one hand on your heart, and you can put two or one, depending on what you're doing. And I want you to just take that full deep breath into your nose, into the belly, into the ribs, then that last little breath into your chest. And as you start to exhale, ask yourself, when you're creating your content, Does this post move me closer to clarity, connection, or conversion? Does this post move me closer to clarity, connection, or conversion? Now, if the answer is like a hell yes, then share it. But if it is not, then you need to let it go. You need to shake your hands out, let that energy go, and just say, thank you, goodbye, and either use ChatGPT or go on to your next idea. And that's it. It takes 1 minute. If it doesn't feel good to you when you look at your business, when you look at who you're supposed to be making the content for, who your dream client that you're trying to attract, then, you know, you need to find that intentionality. And that's really where, you find that machete to cut through the heaviness of creating content. Because I think we spend so much time trying to create the perfect caption and the perfect this. And sometimes what people really need to see is rawness and realness, relatability, and they need you to talk to them in their language and help them solve the problems that they're looking for the solutions to. It's so much simpler, but we have the tendency to make simple things, I think, complicated. And so if you're like me and you thought, you needed to post more and hustle more and work harder and never feeling like enough, know that you don't need any of that. What you need is clarity. And that's what I offer you in the Alchemized Content Method. A clear blueprint and step-by-step hand-holding course that is self-paced, where I help you map out the buying beliefs that you need to help instill inside of your dream clients and help them, you basically create content that follows the client journey cycle that's specific to your business and what you offer and who you're trying to attract. And you have a very clear picture by the end of that course who you are, what you offer, who you're trying to off, who you serve and how you do it. Because when you really have quick answers to those things, then the rest of it really falls into place. Then you can literally create an entire month of powerful magnetic content in a few minutes. And you can then, in one afternoon, take that and all the templates that I give you and really batch create your entire month of content. And then when you feel the power or the energy or whatever, the inspiration to go live or create a reel or do some more advanced stuff, the energy is there because you are no longer you're no longer serving from within your cup. You are now serving from that overflow. You're like, oh my gosh, normally I would be like still struggling trying to create content. And I'm just kind of sitting here like, what should I do with my time? What should I do with my day? That is the most beautiful feeling. And I wish that I could give it to everybody. And guess what? I can. You just have to take that first initial step and say yes. Because it does not have anything to do, again, with a lot of the things that we get caught up with, you know. And I think once you have that clarity and then you start creating with ease and not from burnout or stress, then you become actually more disciplined because you finally have a framework that, again, what's the whole purpose of the Alchemized Content Method and what I teach is to help your nervous system feel safe. And that's the magic of alignment. It truly will make your content feel lighter, your business feel lighter, and your life feel lighter. You're going to be more full of energy. You're going to be more inspired. You're going to have more time to connect with clients that actually want to buy stuff from you. And so for some of you, you can totally take this and run with it and fix yourself and patch all the leaks to your business, to your life, because it's not just your content that is leaking, it's your whole business, it's your whole life. And you need to look at where you're having those problems. But for some people, they are saying yes, and you're nodding along to this podcast, but you're not sure where those leaks actually are. And that's where my business vital signs strategy call comes in. It's 90 minutes. I basically talk to you and then help you find those leaks. And then we find the solutions to plug them so that you can have that reset plan that actually supports you and not gives you more things to do to then continuously drain you. But if you're ready to like really master repurposing your content in a beautiful system that I teach, the doors are open right now for the Alchemized content method. It is still at the founding member price of only $97. It will eventually go up, but I really, really want this to go to more people. I've seen crazy, crazy transformations from everything from a yoga therapist to a Reiki master to a stand-up paddleboard instructor and a holistic beauty. She creates like lotions and like a beauty care skin line. Sorry, that was what I was trying to come up with. It works across all niches. And so that's my invite to you. That's where you'll learn how to really take that one piece of content and turn it into 25 or more aligned magnetic binge-worthy pieces without that burnout. Or if you are completely new and you're just starting your business and you have no content, this will give you that spark to really start creating badass content from the get-go. So just real recap from what we talked about today. Again, the heaviness in your content is most likely because you have invisible leaks and you need to take a self audit of your business and yourself. Remember that consistency is not about discipline. It is about creating that safety, just like in your yin yoga practice. I teach yin. I don't like it myself, but I know it's what I need. And that's how I teach it to my students, because it is in that moment where we are trying to resist the urge when your body's right at that tipping point where it starts to get uncomfortable, and our natural urge is to let go because it's getting too hard. And all our body needs is for us to continue to breathe and create that environment to make it feel safe, to regulate our central nervous system so that our body will naturally relax into the pose. And that is where that elasticity in our muscles comes in. And it's a beautiful transformation to see people's body relax when I watch them in the yin practice. And then if you're really struggling, your quick win was to do that 1 minute content energy reset before you go and publish on your next post. And I would suggest that before you even go into Canva or before you go and create that reel. If you're already at that place, you have some drafts that you're like looking at and you haven't necessarily pushed publish because you're scared or whatever, take that reset sequence and then see if you can get some clarity. So that's your action step. Before you publish your very next piece of content, I want you to pause and ask yourself again, does this move you towards clarity, connection, or conversion? And if your answer is no, then give yourself permission to let it go. And if you need somebody else to tell you, I am giving you the permission to let it go. And that's all I got for you, my beautiful friend. I hope that this was helpful. If there's any information or aha moments that you got, I would love to hear from you. As always, it would mean the world to me if you can take a few moments to rate this podcast so that it helps reach other women wellness entrepreneurs and military community. Also, leave me any comments, especially if there's content that you would love to hear me teach about that I haven't gotten to yet. And as always, continue to be you, continue to be beautiful, and continue leading from your heart. I will catch you in the next episode. All right, beautiful. That's a wrap on today's episode. But before you go, let's talk about something really important. You are not just another entrepreneur trying to figure things out alone. You are a wave leader, someone whose work is meant to create real impact, touch the lives of others, and make this world better. And I want you to know you don't have to do it alone. If today's conversation resonated with you, I'd love to keep this energy going inside of my free Facebook community, Empower Her Biz Collective. It's where we take these conversations deeper with live trainings, tech walkthroughs, and real heart-centered support from other women wellness entrepreneurs who really get it. So if you're ready for community, clarity, and support as you build your own business with heart and ease, I'd invite you to come and join us. You'll find the link in the show notes. And hey, if you love today's episode, make sure to subscribe, leave a review if you feel inclined, and share this with a fellow heart-led women entrepreneur so that we can build this movement together. Until next time, keep leading with heart.